Hey, what's up, studs? Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and welcome to my comparison of two very highly regarded battle packs in the community. On the left, from 2011, we have the Mandalorian battle pack, set number 7914. And on the right, we have the Mandalorian Battle Pack from 2020, set number 75267. Both sets have beautiful box art, in my opinion. The version from 2011 cost $12 upon its release, adjusted for inflation. That's going to be about $13.75. It included just 68 pieces, and of course, 4 minifigs, being the 4 Mandalorians. The 2020 version cost $15, and obviously, since this is being filmed, when this set is being released, there is no adjustment for inflation, and it includes 102 pieces with also 4 minifigs, being Mandalorians. And just because I'm sure you're curious, here is what the two back of boxes look like side by side. You can see how some things have changed over the years with LEGO. They really used to do battle packs that would go side by side with each other. Now, not so much. There's not really like an opposition battle pack for the Mandalorians. Back in 2011, they had the clone battle pack out at the time, which was a good one to have fight them. This comparison will use my proprietary scoring system that I've been using on my comparison videos for probably about a year now. We'll go through the minifigures, playability, design, value, and finally my opinion on the sets, and then we'll tally up the final score to see whether the 2011 Mandalorian Battle Pack or the newer 2020 Mandalorian Battle Pack reigns supreme. And obviously there's room for both, like you can like both, but for the sake of having a fun video, we are going to pit them against each other. Let's get started with the minifigures. I think the minifig debate in these sets can definitely go either way. You may be a fan of getting 4 of the exact same figures, or you may be a fan of getting 4 figures that you can kind of mix and match with the newer Mandalorian Battle Pack. And I can definitely see either side. For me, though, I'm really loving the 2011 Mandalorian Battle Pack figures. So, for starters, I like their weapon variety a lot more. Obviously, you get some of the classic LEGO Star Wars blaster rifles and stuff that you just don't get in battle packs anymore. And they even made this custom-built, like, mega weapon. I think it's a sniper rifle. Some people on my review were telling me that it's actually like a machine gun. But either way, I mean, that's what LEGO's for, imagination, right? And to me, it's just got the scope there that makes it look like a sniper rifle to me. But anyway, beautiful weapon selection, and I think that goes a long way versus the stud shooters on the newer versions. And, you know, stud shooters are fine. They're great little play features, but for me personally, I'm liking the older blasters more. That being said, also underneath the helmets of these characters on the older style Mandalorians, you'll actually find a Mandalorian head, which is very interesting. The newer styles only have black heads underneath, so you're not getting the same level of detail, I suppose. Although I will say with these older Mando figures, you're only getting the torso print, no leg print or waist printing or even back printing. The backs, though, do have a jetpack, which the newer Mandalorians don't have. So that might be a plus for some people. That jetpack is a very nice piece introduced in 2009. I really do like it. Each Mandalorian of the newer Mandalorians, though, has slightly different printing everywhere. Their helmet prints are different. Their torso prints are different. This is just besides the color. And even the leg prints are different on each character. That being said, you know, you may like that, you may not. So, you know, that can really go either way. Underneath the helmet of each Mandalorian, like I said a moment ago, is just a regular black head, nothing special. And each Mandalorian actually has one of these slightly thinned out LEGO capes. So you're getting a cape with each Mandalorian that is somewhat color matched to them, although not perfectly in all cases, but they do get capes on each one, so that's kind of nice. I think some people will enjoy getting a cape on their Mandalorian. Perhaps you'll find that more appealing than getting the jetpack, but to me, getting 4 of the same exact Mandalorian figures is just amazing, and I really like the 2011 version for the minifigure category. I can understand you liking the 2021s. I don't think they're bad per se, but I really fell in love with the 2011 style, so that's going to be a point for the minifigs for the 2011 Battle Pack. For the playability category, it would seem that both of these sets should be 100% evenly matched, but I don't think that's the case. The playability for the 2011 versus 2020 Mandalorian Battle Packs is actually quite different. The 2011 version includes this very quaint little blue and gray turret section, which can spin around, and you can have a minifigure stand behind it like so, and that's about it, right? That's what you get with that particular section for playability. You can just sit that down, and that's about it. Now, the newer turret section, or rocky area, whatever you want to call it, is actually a little bit more involved than that. You can actually stand a Mandalorian in there, And then you can actually take a stud shooter, which in and of itself is actually a play feature. You can stick that in there. And then you can also have another stud shooter clip onto the back here, but we're not going to bother with that. But the stud shooter itself is a stud shooter, right? So that is a play feature more so than that thing is to just spin around, right? So I would say that having the stud shooter is marginally better than not having a stud shooter for playability purposes. Obviously, a lot of people would say that they like not having the stud shooter better, but that would be like a displayable, more just like overall way you like the model, like an M&R opinion type thing versus the actual just straight up, does it have the playability there? So in the turret's case, I think the turret on the newer one is better for playability. As for the speeder bikes, I think we're looking at very much the same case here for playability. I think the older one, while is nice, but it only can really swoosh around. Like, that's all it can do. You can have minifigures go on either of them and grab onto the handlebars. There's one in there with the older Mandalorian speeder bike, just like that. So you can have the Mandalorian sit on either speeder bike. I don't think that is any bit crazy in either case, but I think the newer one makes its case for having better playability very simply with the added stud shooters on the side. You just don't see that on the older model. And again, while many people's opinions may be that this older model is nicer and they like the colors better, just straight up talking from a playability standpoint, the newer model is going to have to win out here. It just has the stud shooters, and as much as we hate stud shooters, even the minifigures have them, as much as we hate the stud shooters, from a playability standpoint, they're better than the regular blasters. For me, it's a bit tough to pick a winner for the design category. While I do like the older turret design better, I definitely like the newer speeder just a tad better. I think the newer speeder's bulkier look to it just uses some of the newer Lego pieces that I really think help it stand out versus the older one. It's just slightly thicker. It's just got a little bit better stuff going on. I also really appreciate the little bit of thrust in the back that's just absent on the older one. Just, you know, the older one just is a bit skimpy. It's small, and the newer one is a little bit beefier, and I really do like and appreciate that. So to me, the design category is probably going to be a toss-up. I just can't imagine picking one set over the other for me personally. Now, maybe the colors is part of the design that really matters to you, and to me that does matter, but I think the newer speeder design is good enough to where it warrants being better than the older one, despite me preferring the older one's colors. I think that that's what's going to get me here, is that the newer speeder design is just almost perfect. Like, I don't know how much better they can make it. Like, what more small Lego pieces can they add to this to make it better? I just don't see anything. Now, the turret design, like I said, is clear cut to the older 2011 battle pack, and then of course you just have a couple more minifigs off to the side there. So in my opinion, the design category is going to be a toss-up, and both sets are going to get a check mark. And that leaves us tied at 2 apiece going into the value category. I think this is very much a case of beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Both battle packs cost very close to the same. The newer one is a bit more expensive than the older version, even adjusted for inflation. So we went over that a little bit earlier. We're looking at about $13.75 versus $15 here in current day money. So, I mean, I think you can see that it's probably worth the extra $1.25 with the updated leg printing and better helmet printing and maybe getting better variety. But on the other hand, I can also understand wanting to have the army building potential of the older set. To me, beauty or value in this case is definitely in the eyes of the beholder. I don't think one set provides a significantly more value to anybody that buys either of these sets. They both include 4 minifigs, they both include a pretty standard speeder bike, and they both include a small turret-like section. So again, I just don't think it's fair to say one set is providing a better value than the other. And finally, this comparison is coming down to the M&R opinion, and I think that's where these sets should be. I really don't think that there is one thing that really makes either set better than the other than one's personal preference or opinion. I think this is just one of those cases where you're looking at battle packs and they are both very similar. They're both similarly priced, obviously same kind of minifigs and builds, and you really just look at one and either your eyes like this one or your eyes like that one. You just, whatever you're more driven towards. And to me, it's this one, the 7914 Mandalorian Battle Pack from 2011. I just really like the blue and gray. It's such a classic look for me, and I think the box art also really helps sell it with the same color box art that really just color matches it so well versus the newer white box art with kind of this mash of colors. And, you know, I have said this in my review of this set that I don't love the newer Mandalorian colors. I think some of them are just a little bit too bright, and I think that's what might just kill the new set for me. You look at the older one, I just like that it's a little bit of a darker blue, of course the dark gray in there, versus a lot of light gray, light blue, light green, you know, it just not perfect for my personal taste in the Star Wars universe of Mandalorian. So maybe that'll change in a couple years after watching more of the Mandalorian TV show. Who knows? Anything can happen. But at this point in time, my M&R opinion is definitely going to go to the 2011 version of the Mandalorian Battle Pack. That is just such a classic. But, of course, you guys can vote on the poll on screen right now as to which Battle Pack you guys think is better. But that is going to give us a final score of 4-3 in favor of the 2011 Battle Pack. That's 4 and 3. Bang. So we have our winner of this comparison. Of course, the real winner is the one that you choose to buy. If you want both, you can probably afford both, as the newer one, of course, only costs $15. And if you want that one sealed, it's probably going to cost you like $40, but still, like, relatively cheap on the whole spectrum of things Lego Star Wars. So you can definitely afford both if you really want to have both. But if it's one or the other and you ask me, I would definitely point you in the direction of the 2011 version. But again, I just don't think you can go wrong with either one. It just is going to come down to personal taste and preference in a case like this. So again, vote on the polls on screen. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy. If you have anything to say, leave in the comments section down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.